Taro loved the morning mist. It drifted through his mountain village like a playful spirit. He'd often practice his ninja moves as the sun came up. The air was cool and fresh. Life was simple and peaceful. Taro didn't know anything else, and he didn't want to. His village, tucked high in the mountains, was hidden from the world. It was a place of quiet strength and old ways. The villagers lived in harmony with nature. They were skilled craftspeople and brave protectors of their home. Taro, though young, showed great potential as a warrior. He was quick and clever. His heart was pure, his spirit strong. He trained hard. Watched over by the village elders, he dreamed of the day he could protect his home and his people with the same unwavering strength they had shown for generations. He didn't know it, but trouble was coming. A darkness was creeping closer, threatening to shatter their peaceful life. And Taro would soon face a destiny far greater than he could ever imagine. High on the mountain, hidden in a misty cave, lay a legend. It was the Crimson Moon Blade, a very powerful weapon spoken of in whispers. People said it was made under a blood moon with the power to defeat evil. But they also said it was cursed, able to turn even the purest heart evil with its power. Taro always thought the stories were just stories. He believed in his training, the spirit of his village. Weapons, no matter how powerful, were just tools. It was the heart of the person using it that really mattered. One day, training deep in the forest, Taro found the cave. Drawn by a mysterious force, he carefully went inside. There, on an old altar, bathed in a strange red light, lay the Crimson Moonblade. It pulsed with an energy that both scared and attracted him. He reached out, his hand shaking. As his fingers touched the cold steel, visions filled his mind. He saw armies fighting, shadows covering the land, and a lone warrior using the Crimson Moonblade against the darkness. He pulled back, his heart pounding. Could this be real? Could the stories be true? He knew right then that nothing would ever be the same. The peace of Taro's village was broken in one night. Under a blood-red moon, the Shadowclaw clan attacked. These cruel warriors, dressed in black, came down from the mountains like a disease. Their leader, a huge figure called the Warlord, wanted the Crimson Moon Blade for himself. Taro fought bravely, moving smoothly and precisely. But there were too many Shadowclaw, their attacks never stopping. The village elders fought fiercely, but they were outnumbered. The air was thick with smoke and the sound of clashing metal. As the village burned, Taro's parents told him to run. They gave him a scroll covered in strange old markings. With tears in his eyes, Taro obeyed. He knew staying meant death. He had to live, to find a way to avenge his people and get his home back. He ran into the night, the screams of the villagers echoing in his ears. The scroll felt heavy in his hand, a reminder of both his loss and his duty. He vowed to return, to honor the sacrifices made that night, and to bring peace back to his ruined village. His journey had begun. And the scroll Taro's parents gave him was a map. It led him deeper and deeper into the forbidden forest. Legend said the forest was alive, a place where ancient spirits lived and the trees whispered secrets. Days turned into weeks as Taro traveled through the thick trees. He used his ninja training, moving quietly, his senses sharp. He fought strange creatures and crossed dangerous lands. The forest tested him, pushing him to his limits. One evening, as darkness fell, Taro found a clearing. In the middle stood a lone figure. The figure turned, and it was a young woman with bright blue eyes and a bow across her back. She said her name was Akira, a skilled hunter who knew the forest very well. Taro, cautious but needing help, showed her the map. Akira knew the markings right away. "The Temple of the Rising Sun," she whispered, her eyes wide. "Legend says it holds the key to defeating the Shadowclaw." Akira agreed to help Taro reach the Temple of the Rising Sun. She knew the dangers and understood Taro's burden. Together they faced the dangers of the Forbidden Forest. They shared stories around campfires, finding comfort in each other in the harsh wilderness. They fought giant spiders with glowing eyes and packs of shadow wolves that moved incredibly fast. Taro's agility and Akira's archery skills made them a strong team. They learned to predict each other's moves, their trust growing with every challenge they overcame. Through it all, Taro felt like someone was watching him. He'd see movement in the shadows, hear whispers in the wind, he told Akira, but she said it was just the forest playing tricks on him. Still, Taro felt uneasy. He couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right.